Three, two, one. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 5th edition Usapait. My name is Jacob, or JC, and I'll be your dungeon master, and I'm joined here by three wonderful people in a new little setup. Unfortunately, I cannot thank the person directly who helped me with this, but I will thank her regardless. Jazz is under the weather today, but she helped and made this amazing background, which I'm extremely grateful for. And we have, utilizing the background for the first time today, Helminia, who is playing Ophelia, Drow Wizard. We have Suzanne, who is playing Tiefling Monk. And
Helminia did not care for The Godfather. Continue.
It insists upon itself. I was gonna let it go. Continue.
and we have Cody, who's playing Aelin, the Shadow Kai fighter. And as Jazz is pointing out, I do have this fucking thing that they gave me for put on shades.
Put them on.
Oh god. Well,
Share with the class.
he is either the best or the second best in my opinion, but I like one more better. Otherwise, this would be the best thing ever. I do wish these were blue.
I love it.
And
You made it sound like you had been sent something absolutely heinous. This is not as bad as it could have been.
Hey, it was enough to make you believe. It was enough to make. It was a good performance.
It is a thing if I didn't know exactly what I was looking at until like I moved around.
Until your eyes focused on what it is.
This is gonna be a hell of a campaign.
Oh my god, since it's slightly green, you can see the reflection of the screen mirrored through it in its entirety. I just realized it doesn't matter whether it's on his forehead or not. No. Ooh. Okay. Well, dang. However, with these, unfortunately, with 2 of our 6 cast out and about, and one other person still, he's making his way here, but he is still not available at the moment. We have these 3 wonderful people that will keep us company over this evening. And so, just a couple things to get out of the way. Once again, and for probably not the last time, thank you so much to Jazz for making this wonderful background. And thank you to everyone who is watching the stream. If this is your first time, welcome. Hello, my name is JC, and I hope you enjoy your time here with us as we roll dice and scream at each other. If you're not following the channel, please make sure to follow below, or wherever I decide to put this up on YouTube. If you're watching it on YouTube, hello again. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps us. It makes me feel like it's actually worthwhile to put it up somewhere else after I've screamed at these people for 2 hours at a time. And we'd be playing D&D anyway. This just means that you want to see where it goes. But let's jump into what happened last time. So, where we last left off, you all were trying to find where Becky resided. Following a half-elf through the streets of Alinar Oren, you discovered a residence and proceeded to break into it in 3 different ways, all of them with varying levels of success. However, she did not seem to be home, and as you guys sat and decided to wait for her, you could hear an odd metallic clanging sound from below. Ophelia, deciding to look around, found a trap door, and as Aelin stuck his head through, was met with a crossbow bolt to the shoulder. A orcish individual made himself known and demanded to know what you all were doing here. There was this terrible mix-up that you all had claimed, and we're looking for a halfling named Becky. He refused and said that there was nothing he knew about this person right as they stepped into the house with a tiefling woman. Or man. Tiefling man. I'm almost there. This kind of let the House of Cards fall, and you all...
Tiefling woman.
Tiefling woman? I'm still messing up. That's alright.
It's okay. Neither of us know what's going on.
Neither of us know what's going on. Least of all, Becky. She explained a little bit further that she could assist you guys in gaining favor of people who could get you out of Alinar Orin. All that would be required is that some jobs get done. Much to the groaning in protest from Glaeren of wanting to take the high road, you all did agree for her to go and grab a job, preferably one that involves B&E rather than killing. And she said that she would have a job for you all tomorrow. On your way back to the inn to settle down and kind of gather yourselves, you were the victims of an attempted mugging. I would say attempted because you beat the absolute piss out of the two gentlemen who tried to mug you, knocking one of them cold out, and the other one was sent running for their life. You took some gold and a ring and were unbothered on the way back to the inn afterwards. You split bath tokens up, you got separate rooms, and after a little bit more conversation, each of you retired for the night. And that is where we left off. And we'll come back.
And we leveled up.
Oh, yes, we did. With each of you becoming level 2, and I didn't put those in yet, so don't worry. We'll, I at least got your 3 character sheets. So we'll get those updated after a little bit. Thank you for the reminder, though. That would have been real weird for what's about to happen next.
Uh-oh.
So,
You awake with a splitting headache in the back of a cart as snow falls upon your form. You're finally awake, huh?
why is there a reference in every campaign? Okay. As we pull back, Ophelia, you see in front of you ashes that blow across the ground. What used to be a city, a town, a place of life, stands in front of you. And as you look out across it, you feel the breeze turn into a strong wind that picks up and begins to carry the ashes northward. You're not sure how immediately, but you feel these ashes blowing through the winds, through the shoulders of tired men and women traveling northward themselves, with stricken armor and worn minds. You focus back onto this pile of ash, and as you do, you watch as it shifts more than anything could if wind alone pushed on it. This tugging sensation sends this deep set of dread down your form. You feel like there's something trying to dig itself out, as though you're on a beach and watching a creature try to pull itself from the sand where they're buried alive. However, a focus on the sides of your head pulls your vision forward and northward, past these swirling ashes, past these tired forms, and past that pulsing hill of ash. You see little until two blaring dots of white-hot fire train themselves upon you. These eyes that seem to glare upon you with malice, and they feel close, as though they are about to press into your skull. You find yourself darting awake, your skin slick with sweat, breathing heavily, your mind racing as you complete your long rest.
And with that, something happens. JC, would you like to describe this for the folks at home, or shall I do it?
Please, go ahead.
With our level up, Ophelia's subclass has been decided. And it's been decided for a while now. As a divination wizard, I now, at the end of every long rest, am allowed to roll 2 d20s, and any d20 check within my sight, there's no range on it, as long as I can see it, I can make that outcome what I roll on these dice. And that's that. That is the future. The stipulation of this is that I have to say it before the dice is rolled in its entirety. Not before we know the outcome, but before the dice is rolled, the number is announced, before anyone knows. So, with that, I am going to roll my 2d20s. I'm not going to tell anyone what they are, and maybe they'll come out this session. So let me grab a piece of paper. Because Lord knows I forget things.
Lord.
And I will roll my 2 d20s for the day. The die is cast. So, I have these down, and we'll see if they're useful later.
Okay. The rest of you wake up in standard fashion. You are able to rise how you wish, gather how you wish. The only stipulation is as you wake up, you do realize that 2 of the 4 other people that you had come to rest at this inn with are somewhere else. Glaeren, the high elf man, and the satyr woman are not there. You see that her door is closed and locked. Glaeren had kind of slightly left his door open, and as if you do look in at it, you can see that it's empty. No clothes or belongings have been left. And so, at your own pace, the 3 of you are able to reconvene.
Damn. When I get up, I'm gonna go use my bath token, and then when I'm done there, just run back to the room for a sec, gather my things for the day, and then I suppose I'll meet the other 2 just in the dining area.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I guess, exit my room and kind of just make my way straight for the dining area, get some breakfast, and kind of just prep myself for the day, wrap bandages around the hand or anything like that.
Okay.
Rub the
What
shoulder a little
is for
bit
breakfast?
post injury.
You can see for breakfast that it is a small but hearty collection of this. Once again, like the night before, there is this ever-going stew that has a mixture of meats and vegetables in it, and then they also serve toasted bread that you're able to place into the stew. Each of you are able to pick up a bowl of it for a copper.
Damn, just bread and stew?
Just bread and stew.
Fuck. Okay, I guess we'll do some bread and stew.
That's all you got, unfortunately.
I'm in on it too. Oh, please.
Bitch, you've never heard of pancakes? Chicken and waffles? Cereal?
Cereal, the next invention of the wizards.
Just a bowl of just plain wheat, perhaps.
Wheat, perchance.
Seriously.
How's the soup? Is it just as good as it was the day before?
It is still just very plain yet hearty. It is filling. And at this stage, there's not much more you all can ask for.
Fair.
But the three of you that are still here are able to reconvene. The board is yours.
I suppose wasn't Becky getting us some information?
Yes,
Dad?
she said she would get you information. It's just if there's anything in the morning that you all would want to do first, you are more than welcome to.
I have nothing pressing. So, like, I'm ready to go meet her whenever. Though I get the feeling maybe we shouldn't break into her house this time.
I think that would be a good decision.
I thought it was rather fun the last time.
Is
Well, I
there
don't-
somewhere else we should meet her?
I'm not sure if we got direction to or not.
You did
I
not.
suppose we could wait at that bar that we were supposed to wait at initially.
Yeah, let's head that way and see.
Didn't seem like the worst idea.
What about the other two? Should we wait for them, or are they?
If they're out and about already, there's no use in waiting. Who knows when they'll be back even.
Very well, I suppose. If they had more pressing matters to turn to, we can take up the brunt of it.
We
Yeah,
know our
if we-
intentions and we have a place to rest. I can't imagine it would be hard to find them on the return.
If we find them out and about, then we can pick them up along the way, but otherwise, let's get moving for the day.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I'll go get the sled trademark, and I guess get ready for the day.
All right. The sled trademark is picked up and brought back down. The three of you are easily able to. You're heading back towards the fairy tavern that you had been to before.
Yep.
Okay. The three of you are able to make your way there. The sun is fully cresting out and over. The small bit of warmth upon each of your faces drives you forward, and you're able to make your way over to the tavern that you were all supposed to originally wait for Becky there. As you enter back in, the place does not seem to change that much over the over how it is during the evening/night. The inside of it is still a little bit mustier than you'd like. The floor is still disheveled and unpleasant, especially for those of you that are a little bit more vertically challenged. And the patrons are spotted at best, and although this time you can see that someone of elvish descent that is over at a table does seem to look up at the three of you in distaste, is the best word I can pull, as the two of you step in, one of you pulling the third behind you. If you wish, you can all go and grab a table.
Yeah, I think we'll make our way towards or I'll start towards an empty table.
Okay.
I'll follow.
I mean, I think you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think you're forced to follow at this moment. Unless
Along
if you
for
want
the
to bail.
I don't want to touch this floor, so.
So,
Yeah, once we get to the table, I'll kind of, I guess, set the sled down, walk around, and offer an arm to Ophelia to lift onto a chair.
If the offer is extended, the offer is accepted. And I will reach up to.
all right. Hoisted onto the chair. The three of you kind of wait, and it's actually not as short of a time that you would think. It's only a little bit under even 10 minutes before you see...
That's enough time to get a round of dice in.
A quick round.
A quick round of dice.
They're addicted. Are you serious? Are you...
Are we doing it?
I'm serious.
Oh, we can get a quick one in. This is a problem.
Might as well. Might as well.
All
I have a
right.
gambling.
You,
All right.
you've found the team's weakness.
I need a bit more money for my pockets anyway.
It's a D8, D6, and D4, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We put our one in. Let's roll our d8s. I
Yeah, let's
guess
start
the person
slowly
who
going.
initiated the challenge can start. We'll run this without JC now. We can do it by ourselves. Let's go.
We're professionals.
We're professionals.
I suppose I did challenge.
It's
Okay.
not a d8.
Okay.
Thought I rolled
We can
a D8,
do it.
and when
We can do it
when
ourselves.
I want you to know I rolled a d10, and when it came up as a 10, I was like very confused for a hot second. I'm like, hold on, that feels wrong.
We can do it without JC. Wait a second. I got a 10 on my D8.
Okay. We wait for everyone to roll first and then bet, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna
Okay.
hold up.
I rolled my D8.
Okay.
Okay.
Reason?
And then it starts with a
I've also-
challenger.
Yeah. The color of the game, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. I'll put in 2 copper.
Ah, that's absurd. I'll match.
I match.
Yeah. I'm happy there.
D6.
I just love how this is played in.
I'll put in 2 more copper.
I fold.
Wow. I'm gonna raise you another one, so 3 copper total for this round.
All right, I'll match that.
All right. D4.
These three agreed to play a skeleton session not because they wanted to play D&D, it's because they wanted to gamble.
Yes. It's because I want, when the gang comes back, one of us will be rich.
The other two will be broke.
Yeah. All right. How are you feeling? I don't know your name, I guess technically, but how are you feeling, friend? Friendo?
I'm feeling all right. How are
Yeah.
you feeling?
Go ahead. No, go ahead and play your round. Don't check.
I got a 9 in total.
We didn't even
I
do the
rolled-
last round of betting.
You didn't. There's one.
Oh.
There's supposed to be one more.
I got. Oh, my bad. I don't want to bet anymore.
Oh, okay. I was
rolled-
absolutely gonna raise you too. That's okay.
Dude.
We'll call it there.
Dude, my shit got so fucked.
You guys say
On
that
my
you
D8
don't need me.
Yeah. Proceed
my-
to fumble.
Oh yeah, no. It's Cody's damn moon charge dice. On my D8, I rolled a 7, and then on my 6 and a 4, I proceeded to roll 1s.
That's terrible.
Dude, it was bullshit.
The moon really shone on mine because I rolled a 4, very basic start, and then a 5 and a 3, which is not quite perfect, but pretty good.
But that's
dude.
that's more than 9.
That is
I
more than
rolled
mine.
a 5 on the D8, a 1 on the D6, and knew I have things to do today. I can't go broke now. I got spell components I have to go get today, unfortunately.
So let's see. That's a plus 9 to my pocketbook.
You get 3 from me.
Yep. And then 6 from Oh
Yeah,
wait. So yeah, plus yeah,
plus 9.
plus 9 in my pocketbook. I can math.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
Good start to the day.
Well, it's good to see that y'all are being active. As you hear the chair kind of like pull over, and Becky kind of clambers onto the chair to kind of sit between two of you. Did the other ones get cold feet?
They were up in the morning before we were, so not sure where they went off to.
Well, I figured I'd check for y'all here if you weren't banging down my door again. So, glad to see you. I did, in fact, get a place ready and raring to go for y'all. It's, we'll say, a good test of what y'all can do. Standard bit of a mansion, couple floors, so you have a bit more to work with, and it's just about stealing a bit of some documentation that should be in their office. Shouldn't be many people out here. Maybe a bit of the staff you'll have to avoid or do what you will. But I did know that one of y'all didn't want to hurt anyone. But he's not here, so it's your prerogative. I'm not here to judge.
And what kind of building is it? You said potentially many people. Should we be anticipating
I
public
mean,
venue?
she has aides, like she has staff, I believe, a butler and a collection of 2 cleaning girls. But she doesn't have much more, and it's a large house. It has the 2 stories on top of the ground floor. Plenty of space to work with and hide in. One for each of you, if my eyes see each other correctly. It's just a lot of space to search.
Are there? I would assume there's guards on the property.
Oh,
Patrolling suits, perhaps.
there should be, but generally she has bodyguards. She should be out of the house though, and bodyguards don't want to protect staff. This should be a cut and dry. I would assume we'd want to have you check her office first. That'd be the most likely space for paperwork to be. And then if it ain't, maybe she was doing something before going to bed, or it could be on her dining room. She was maybe signing something while eating her dinner.
And do you know what floor each of those spaces are? Is the office further than the
I
bedroom?
mean, I'd assume the office is high up. If I remember correctly, nobles generally like to look down on people as they're signing away their souls. That sort of thing. But the dining room could be anywhere. I mean, if I had to design my mansion, I'd put it on the ground floor for easy access for guests. But, you know, she could do what she wants.
This could be too intrusive, but any thoughts on which floor the bedroom could be in?
I mean, same thing. It's how much do you think that the target cares about privacy or convenience? It could be anywhere.
Right. I guess that gives us something to start with.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I thought y'all were gonna have a little bit more questions.
And when would we be doing this?
I mean, you could do it tonight. Sooner the better, but I'd assume you'd want some time to, you know, scope out the place, get some materials if you need, ask me questions, pretend you don't know me, get an alibi, general
What
stuff.
kind of paperwork did you say we were looking for?
Oh, I didn't. As far as I know, you're looking for. There was a report that was given to her when she kind of like thinks to herself, kind of like snapping her fingers. Whatever group moved through here? Oh, the Northern Third. There was a force that moved through here a while back. I believe the commanding officer of that group gave her a folder, a collection of documents on what they were doing. We got some people who are real interested now that allegedly things are getting a little funky in the city. Wanting to know where those troops were heading off to, where they might maybe be coming back, all of that.
And which part of town did you say this house was in?
Oh, it's in the Northern. This is a noble's house.
Of course, of course.
I'm assuming you have the address then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes, I would not say you're gonna go and rob someone without knowing what house you're going to rob. That would be ridiculous.
Well, the end goal of all of this is to be smuggled out of the city. I'm assuming there is additional forms of payment that we can expect for this. We can't exactly stay in the city on no money, and if we're investing all our time in what is needed from us, there's not much time to make money any other way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do think that it would be good for y'all to do this for known, but I didn't think it was realistic. And so, while this is currying some good favor in support of doing a general partnership, I didn't ask him about transport for y'all out of the city for this job, just taking it as a normal job. And so there is a normal price set to it. Then as we go further, we can start inquiring about getting y'all out of here. I figured it would also be a little bit odd if all of a sudden I came to, what should we call him? My contact of business, stating that I have 5 people who are chomping at the bit to get out of the city. He might be a little bit less likely to help. So I just told him I have 5 fresh new faces that are working for me, and I would love to let him see how good they are. It just so happened he had something that he didn't want to put recognizable criminals on. And, you know, things work out in your favor every once in a while.
Coming back to the matter at hand, how much is this pay?
She kind of, like, looks around. 1,000 gold pot. You're working for very kind people.
Very kind, it seems.
Well, he needs something
Check.
done, and, you know, he'd prefer for it to be done anonymously. I might have butted y'all up. Wanted to give you your best shot. If you put out a good name for yourselves, you'll be out of the city in no time.
Very well.
Wonderful. This, and she pulls out a small slip of parchment that is bound together with a small thread, is the address. Is there anything else that you want me to get off my tongue right away, or are you ready to just go wild?
I'm ready to go, but I have a quick question unrelated to the job.
Shoot.
I'm gonna kind of lean into the over the table a little bit to get closer. I'm just gonna ask if, do you know any cobblers in the business, so to speak?
I may happen to. You looking to get some shoe work done?
Something like that.
Well, if you need to get it done before, as in it's part of your preparation, I'll have a man to recommend you.
I'm not in a rush to do it for today, but definitely want to get it done before leaving the city.
Well, you'll be doing a little bit more before leaving the city, so that'll be no issue. And if that's how you feel about it, I'll hold off on that, let you do it during a little bit of rest and relaxation after you've done this favor for my contact. And you know, if it fails, you get caught. It's one less person that you know, and one less person that knows you.
Fair enough.
Wonderful. She kind of sets the scrap of parchment down. Well, I look forward to meeting all of you for the first time after everything's been said and done. You're welcome to drop by my place after you're sure there ain't anyone else coming after you. Take all the time you need, but, you know, pot might dry up the longer you do take. The generous people, they ain't patient necessarily. Clocks run on a strict schedule, you know.
Oh, one last question.
Shoot.
Once we get this report or these reports, where do we take them? Do you want to meet back here? How do we get word to you?
I'd say make sure you ain't being followed. Even if you need to take a day to lay low, don't worry about it. And then you can come and see me.
Okay.
Just at your place or here?
We'll go with here. I'd like to... for... For his sake, I'm sure less people stopping by my house is best. For the health of all involved, y'all included. Maybe we can work on that in the future. Get y'all a little bit more friendly.
Assuming all goes well, we'll meet you back here tomorrow about this time.
Tomorrow morning. My, y'all some fast shippers. All right. Pleasure to not meet you. And she slides down off of the stool, kind of gives a wave over her shoulder, and begins to just lightly walk out of the tavern.
So what do we think? Should we go try and case this joint? I think we're gonna have some issues getting up into the northern district, but we might as well not waste too much time. Try and prepare as much as we can here.
No,
I have
we
to
should
do some
probably
shopping.
go.
Should we shop before or after we scope the place out? I don't want to.
Do you know what you
guessing-
need, or does it depend on what we're doing?
I know what I need, but I also can't help you scope out the building anyway.
I suppose that's true. What do you think, Tiefling? Should you and I go up and take a look while Ophelia goes shopping?
I'd be hesitant to leave her alone. Just for her safety.
Quick shopping
wanna
trip on
just-
my end. You can take me back to the hotel. I'll handle my business there. You guys scope the scene, and we'll meet back up at the hotel. Sound okay? The inn?
Should be fine. I mean, we could probably hit shops on the way, drop you off, and then head up. We shouldn't have to double back or anything.
Yeah, sounds like a good start then. Were there shops on the way between the anything notable, I guess, between the Fairy Tavern and our place
Yeah,
of residence? I don't
It's
remember.
not hard to find easy easy quick shops to find different baubles and trinkets or gear, anything in the ordinary sphere you'd be more than able to find and procure traveling along the main road.
Is there a ski mask, rope, and shovel store?
Unfortunately,
It's right next to the pipe bomb rock salt
yeah.
50 extra sketch store.
Unfortunately, there's only the balaclava store.
Oh,
So, like,
Oh,
I forgot what part of town we're in. I'm sorry.
yeah. People just strangely speaking in something that sounds like Russian. But no, you guys would be able to go between different stores and buy some stuff.
Okay.
as we're walking through, do I see any like cobbler shops?
I'd say there does look to be. You are able to, going through the normal, just the normal main street along stores for this general shopping trip. There would be a cobbler that you see.
Do you have a name for that store?
Um,
Am I putting it?
sorry, I missed that second part of the sentence.
Am I putting you on the spot?
For the specific name, I just have to pull up the document.
Find yourself at John Scholl's Cobblery.
Do, do, do.
Looking in the document. A cobbler shop and name generator.
My specific document of cobbler shop. Cobbled at dawn is what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute my mic before I say some things out loud I shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I think it's fine.
Oh no, not here.
Yeah, if there's anything you wanted to do specifically there, or any questions you'd like to ask, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, just let me know what you guys are buying from just, we'd say, random shops.
I really just wanted the name.
Okay.
So if Ophelia finds the shop she's looking for, we can do that.
Yeah, it's
I need
more of
charcoal,
just...
incense, and some herbs.
Those are easy to find. The basically procuring from around. Are you looking for a specific amount?
10 gold piece worth.
You are able to go on that. It is a large amount of their selection. But 10 gold pieces is the amount, like the minimum amount that this shop can have. If you guys have not gone into it yet, so there's no worries there. So you are able to buy, if you have the gold for it, 10 gold pieces of the materials.
Willing to trade me for this all right ring?
You can make a barter check, which is a persuasion.
Let's roll it up.
Because of certain features, don't worry too much about it. You will roll at disadvantage.
No! Is this just a random shop?
Yeah.
Do you think I'll ever come back here?
That's up to you.
Nah, we'll just roll
I know what you were thinking of doing here.
Yeah, I was gonna use the friends
The
cantrip.
friends cantrip.
7?
7. Yeah, no, we're not in the business of trading for jewelry.
I'll give them their 10 gold pieces.
All right.
Not only is the air up here purely vile, so are the people, apparently. And they call us barbarian.
It's all a matter of perception and relativity, but I'm inclined to agree. It's not great being the second rate.
Oh, nothing about me is second rate.
Do you need
These folks
some?
just don't know their place.
Do you need some spare gold to cover the cost of your items?
Oh, your sympathy feels like pity now. Bad enough you carry me around, now you want
I-
to take care of my lifestyle?
I view it more as an investment. If it's something we can use to get this job done, the 6 gold I'm willing to give you is nothing compared to the 1,000 we could potentially come home with.
Don't you worry about me. You just pull the sled and be ready to lift me when I say lift.
Okay. Is there anywhere else we need to go shopping? I only have a handful of rope and some climbing gear if we need to go up. If you guys need something else, now would be the time.
I'm assuming the inn has the brass brazier that I'm gonna need.
I mean, they have them. It's it's an entirely different thing if you're just gonna take it, but no, if you're just planning
I'm
on
gonna
using,
rent it for the night and
Yeah.
claim I'm cold. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely able to be done.
I don't need anything then.
Okay. And if the other two of you don't need anything, you're able to take Ophelia back to the inn and drop her off.
What is just a quick question, what's like the going rate for scrolls? Is that something I would know, or do I need to talk to a...
I mean, the going rate for scrolls, I would say make a intelligence check for me.
Sir, yes, sir. Oh man, that is a natural 1.
You do not know.
I have no idea. Okay, fair enough.
Do you ask?
No, I'd keep it to myself.
You're like,
I'd be
damn,
thinking
this
about
is
it, like,
embarrassing.
oh,
I can't even
what
think.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I wonder if that's a good idea. I don't even know how much it would cost, and I just keep it to myself.
That is worthy of a nat 1 roll.
Shame. All right, well, yeah, drag back to the inn.
Okay.
For prosperity's sake, what is our inn called?
The inn is called the Fresh Flask.
Fresh Flask. Okay. Swag. Perfect. Well, do you need anything else while we're on our way? Then I'll ask our wizard.
You'll need a sturdy backpack, but other than that, we'll be fine.
I'll see what I can find. I'll kind of make my way towards the door.
Yeah. Let's get going.
Okay. The two of you heading towards the noble house.
Yeah, what's the address?
The address dictates it being up in the northeastern section of town. The northern district would indicate that it is the wealthier side, while the eastern portion of the northern district would indicate that they are some sort of nobility or higher, like not just class, but like position.
Okay.
It would denote like either a respected scholar, a noble, something like that.
Okay.
But I do not believe either of you have what I
Ever been
need
there.
to make a check on what this address is for, specifically. And so the two of you are heading up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all make your way over and you come across just well-kept streets of stone with small oil lampposts kind of lining the side of the street that look like they get lit during night to keep maximum visibility. You can see these better kept, nicer houses, no longer in the singular story. Each of the houses out in this section of town are minimum 2 stories, with a couple of them getting to 3 stories. You get to the specific area, and you do spy one house that is above the other 2-story houses around it. You can see different kind of like extravagant like hedges, basically, that have been trimmed and kept up outside the front property. You can see beautiful trim along this 3-story house. Standing and looking at it from the road, you can see a large main door, wood reinforced with both stone and metal. And as it goes up to the second floors, you can see these kind of large windows with an actual looks like a outside, like not like almost like a porch raised up onto the 3rd floor, kind of expanded. It looks like a quite nice house comparatively to what else you've seen in Alinar Orn, and even stands out as one of the nicer houses among this district. Are you looking for anything in specific?
Is there anyone out and about on the outside of the property right now?
Please make a perception check.
If I am also looking, is that advantage or?
If you have
19.
if you have proficiency, you can give the help action, which would be advantage for your ally, or you can just make a check yourself.
Okay, I do have proficiency, so I'd be happy to share that.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 19 for the first one. We'll see if we
jeez.
can get better than that.
Probably don't need that then.
Okay.
Yeah, 19 is what we're going with.
Okay. Fair enough.
All
I
right.
feel somewhat perceptive right now.
Somewhat effective.
Somewhat perceptive with a 19. Let's do this. What do we got?
As you kind of survey this, as the two of you pass by this extravagant building, you can see flashes of movement in the ground floor windows. As you can see that there are two uniformed, they look like maids kind of moving around. You can see them kind of, one of them looks to be like carrying this bundle of cloth from one part of the house to the other. And the other one looks like it has different, like a just a standard like broom or mop maybe, but you can see the handle as she's like running it along the floor. As you go up further and look at the right side from the streets, from the right side of the street's perspective, side of the house, up on that third floor porch, you can actually see someone who does not look like a maid, as she is dressed in a very fine, maybe silk, but no matter what, you can see this kind of elaborate silver patterning over this kind of like deep green dress that kind of goes down her form. And you can see standing on either side of her are two armored men that look to be bearing the same emblems as the city guard. She looks to be leafing over either a book or a some sort of pamphlet. It's a little bit hard to see from where you immediately are, and that you don't want to be just staring at this person from the street. But you can see them kind of leafing through something before a man who is well dressed, but not in the same extravagant way that she is, kind of steps out onto the porch. And you can almost like see his lips move as he says something, and she turns to acknowledge him before handing the book or pamphlet to one of the guards that flank her, and begin to follow the man inside. As you watch, she steps through, and the two guards step through with one of them closing this wooden door to the outside.
I thought she wouldn't. She wasn't here. Okay. Maybe she'll be gone later?
I think it's wise of us to at least take a look now and plan our routes in. Do we see gardens, courtyards, or is this more of like a stacked high vacant or high vicinity?
High vacant. The actual immediate layout of it is there's about like, it's not a lot of yard space. It's only like 10-15 feet of yard space, with 5 of that 10-15 feet being taken up by the hedges. But it is about that as a border that is segmenting it off from the other buildings in this district. And then the small bit of land that leads up to the house. Otherwise, it seems that the lion's share of this property is going upward, as this is one of the few 3-story houses here.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. We're on the street.
Mm-hmm. You guys have just walked past the building.
Okay. Is there like a space in between, like, her mansion and like the next building, or
There is not necessarily an alleyway, but the difference between her house that has that hedge almost as like a border and the house next to hers doesn't necessarily have a hedge or a border, so that you could get between the other house, which is about 10 feet. It's just not like an explicit alleyway that you would be understood as doing normal actions if you walked that way. But there is a spot for you to just run to. It would be, if a normal person saw you, it could be seen as suspicious behavior, but it is there as an option.
How many people are out and about in this area?
You'd lovely to make another perception check. Just surveying your surrounding.
7.
7.
7.
As you kind of parse around, it doesn't look busy at all, actually.
Can I also make a perception just to be safe? Look over my shoulder before we.
You are welcome to.
Oh. That one hit the floor. I'm going to try again.
You just put that wherever.
13.
13. You see like one person kind of like walking around the corner, but he's walking the opposite way of all of you guys and his back is turned. So, coast seems to be clear.
Okay.
I'd like to like move up, like kind of down this alley, so to speak.
Okay.
And then like duck through the hedge and get like up to the mansion.
Sure.
Kind of. I want to make sure no one can like see me looking, like if they're looking out the window, but just like up against the wall as much as I can be.
I would love for you to make a stealth check.
I would love to make a stealth check. 8.
8.
Oh, no.
As you, Aelin, you watch as this person kind of moves over to the side of the house, kind of like glances around, and then just moves through the hedge. It takes a little bit of time, but you do hear them kind of pop out on the other side, and as you just kind of like take a moment and just brush off like your chest, a bit of the hedge that is stuck to you, you look up and you can see this elvish woman holding a sheet in between her arms, kind of carrying it to her chest, and she's almost like frozen in shock just of seeing a tiefling step in plain view of the window. And she's just looking at you from this first floor window. So you are seen. What would you like to do?
That's a really good question.
Let's say you have 10 seconds to do something before she does.
I'm just gonna like wave to her, like kind of friendly like, and then just like walk back through the hedge.
Homer Simpson style.
I
yeah.
would like a performance check.
Yo. I'm dog shit at those. Actually, I'm goated. 19.
I just rolled a random DC. This was DC 13. As you wave, and you see this woman just kind of holding the sheet, just kind of wave back, still kind of clutching it as you just back through the hedge. And Aelin, kind of still watching from the street, you do hear the sound of a window kind of unlatching and kind of open, as if you want to get an angle, you could see what's happening with that sound, but you assume either your companion opened a window or someone else just did.
Okay.
And the hedge is dense enough that you can't see through it. Just to warn you. So you
wide
can't.
is the hedge?
How what?
How wide?
The hedge is the hedge is a trimmed like pseudo fence around the building. So like it goes all the way around except at the front.
No, but like how wide is like?
Oh, it counts as basically a 5 foot like wide bit that is difficult terrain. So
Okay,
10 feet
can
of
I just like
movement is
stand in there without being seen?
you can stand in in there right now and I will let you remake a stealth check.
Yo. Uh, natural 20 for a total of 24.
Sick. She got a high perception, but not a natural 20 high perception. As you can see, just kind of like blurred through like the thick leaves, as just this, you can just hear just this soft voice just kind of go, "Hello. I would advise you to not trespass onto the Lord's property. Thank you." And you can hear the latch kind of close.
Can I make like a perception or something to see when she like if she like walks away?
Sure.
21.
21. Which is good, because she does stay at that window for a period of time. And you just kind of listen as she's like close next to it until you just hear Ava, we have things to do. And you, oh, yes. And you hear her like muffled voice and sounds of footfalls moving away from the window.
Okay. I'm going to. I guess we'll try to move up again.
Sure.
See what happens.
Okay, stepping out of the shrubs, we're gonna just do another stealth.
Okay.
It's back to their passives, not their actives, so.
This doesn't beat my passive, but 11.
They don't have a plus, so it does beat their passive.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Of the people on the first floor. As you kind of like step out, you can see the latched window that you had stepped in front of. You step to the right of it this time as you hear one of the housemaids just kind of briskly walk by the window.
Okay. I kind of want to like slowly move my way around the property.
Okay.
I'm specifically looking for like a maid's quarters or like a maid's closet or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm. You can make a... You know, this one I'll let you choose between investigation and perception. It could be either.
I'll do another perception.
Okay.
Nine.
Okay. You kind of step around and you're not seeing anything that would like explicitly denote like a maid's quarters. But what you do see is that You're not going to the front of the house. That would be stupid. But along this side, you can see that there is the 2 windows on the ground floor. There's one larger window on the second floor, and then there is the porch above you on the 3rd floor. As you move around the back, you can see that there isn't windows through the back, but there is a back door. There seems to be some sort of like those hatches that would open up to lead you into a basement on the back. And then on the 2nd and 3rd floor, you can see 2 windows on each side as well of the back section of the house. And then looking over onto the left side, looking at the road section of the house, you can see that there are the 2 windows on the bottom floor, a large window on the 2nd floor, and a large window on the 3rd floor. And that is what you see.
Okay. Was that hatch locked?
You go over to test it, and yes, it is.
Okay. Damn, I should have. And the windows latched from the inside, naturally.
Naturally, yes. These are thin pane glass windows, supported by a little bit of wood in the middle, and they all have these like thin metal latches on the inside.
Is there any way I could use like a knife to get a latch open, or?
There'd be a chance, absolutely.
I want to make sure whatever like room this window is attached to is like empty. Maybe with a closed door, if I could be so lucky.
Mm-hmm. The
then-
window that you were originally spotted from is a corner hallway that she was walking briskly through. As such, there is no one immediately there, but it would denote as being a hallway maybe a little bit more trafficked than just a room.
Okay. Are any of the windows on the first floor just attached to a room?
It does seem to be that so it is the left front window is the one that you got seen through. There is the or the front right window, I should say. The back right window, as you look into it, you can make a quick perception check. Scout this out.
16.
16, as you kind of peer onto it, it looks to be like a kitchen, a prep room. You can see twin stoves, like these wood stoves that have these kind of heavy pots set upon them. You can see hanging bags of different vegetables. You can see bowls of fruits. You can see different spices that have been kind of set on the counter. Although nothing is actively being cooked at this moment, it looks like stuff is being prepared.
Okay.
No one is there, though.
No one's there?
No
Okay.
one is there.
I suppose I'll try to open the window. I assume that's a sleight of hand.
Yes, it would. If you have a thieves' tools check, you could also do that, but I don't believe you do.
I do not. I just have. I mean, I do have a forgery kit, but I don't think
No.
that does me much more than just a knife.
Nope.
So
A knife is better than a forgery kit at the moment.
it's kind of what I thought. 14.
14. You slowly slide the knife in and you just push upward with slowly increasing force until you just hear a small pting, and you see the latch fall away and the window kind of like almost like breathing just kind of push open just a bit. The tension no longer there, holding it in place.
Okay. I'm just gonna, I guess, open the window and, as I mean, I think it's, move through the window silently. Um, and then I assume there's like a pantry or closet or something in here.
Yeah, there is a pantry.
Okay. I do want to note, I want to like close the window, but I want to leave it unlatched.
Okay. You kind of slowly ease shut on the window.
Um, is Does it sound like there's anyone in the pantry?
No, there does not.
Okay. Um, Looking in there, maybe this is an odd place to look. I'm looking for like a chef's uniform or something of that nature. Something to make me look like a staff's uniform of some sort.
Trying to Agent 47 this? Hitman stuff?
Oh, don't worry about what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I would say this is making an investigation check.
Okay. 18.
18. As you look through here, there is no full uniforms. They don't just have a chef's uniform here just hanging up in the pantry, but you do see like assortment of aprons and like gloves to pull things from the hot wood stoves. That would be what is available.
Okay. What I really need is like one of those maid uniforms. Is it a bad idea to push further in to see if we can get our hands on one of those?
You're in there like all by yourself, so if something goes
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah,
I'm sure they understand.
I'm not here, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. This is you and Aylin right now. I'm gonna stay muted.
Yeah.
I had
I'm walking
ideas, but pop off. Have fun.
I'm walking the block right now, so it's best of luck to you.
First off, does it sound like anyone's coming this way?
Not immediately, no. I will let you
Okay.
know since no one is, as far as you know, no one is sneaking through the house. And if they trip your passive, I will let you know, which is just a, I think you said 12? Or was it higher? It was a.
It's probably a 12.
If you don't have perception proficiency, it would be 12.
It's a 12.
Hell yeah. God, I'm so good at this.
This app is like kind of odd.
It's okay.
But it's fine. I want to peek. I kind of just want to like peek, like out. Like just like peek out of the kitchen and see.
Okay.
Kind of.
So there's the
what's
closer
happening.
door to the pantry, or there is a door that is closer to like where you had come from the window that you had entered through. Those are your two choices.
I guess we'll do the one by the pantry since I'm over here.
Okay. Any particular way you're opening it, or is everything all good?
Just quietly, as I have been.
Okay. You open the door, and you can see this very large, long, wood engraved with little bits of gold for the trim along both the edges of the table and legs of it. Dining room table, alongside a cabinet with all sorts of crystalline glassware, silvered utensils, just like a display cabinet of expensive dishware and utensils. It's an extravagant and empty dining room. On the far side, you can see another door. And then about halfway through the room, you can see a pair of double doors. The door that you pushed through was a singular door. It is... yeah, that's all you see.
Does the other door come out here too, or does that go somewhere else?
The other door?
From the kitchen.
Oh, in the kitchen? No, the other door, if you want to go up to that one, the one that is closer to the window that you came through, that one opens up and you can see that hallway.
Okay. Okay. I think... So there's double doors and then another single door on the far side.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming no one is coming my way or is like on the other side, I want to peek through those doors.
Through the
I guess
double
we'll
doors or the far
we'll
door?
start with double doors.
The double doors? Okay. You kind of like move up next to it, and you do hear with your passive just kind of muffled, like shuffling around. It sounds like someone is either cleaning or rearranging or something in the room past these double doors.
Let's check the far door then.
Okay. You listen into the far door and you do not hear anything. You slowly ease it open and you can see this small kind of mud room basically where you can see there is rugs that are kind of hung up against the wall with a beating stick to get mud out. A couple sections of like more hardy boots that you'd expect people to wear outside. And then that door that is the back door.
Okay. No clothes though. Nothing what I'm looking for.
No, just pairs of boots. In this mudroom, also worth noting, there is a continuation of a door kind of ahead and to your left. It's a relatively small room. It would be basically you've just headed through the back part of the house is what you've done. And so this would put you against the, from the street's perspective, left side of the house. You've just gone through the back section, almost like the back fourth or third of the first floor.
Okay. I think I've got a sort of idea. If that next door is clear, I want to check through there.
Okay. You listen, and as you kind of peek through, you can see that there is a almost kind of identical hallway kind of running through this. I would say yes, this is on the rope enough that I want a perception check for you to see it.
Okay. Uh, 18.
18. As you look, just kind of barely visible, but like as you're leaning through, kind of your head's closer to the wall. At that kind of angle of leaning to look, you can just see the slight sliver of almost like a staircase going down. All the way through the hall.
If the hall is clear, I want to head down the staircase.
Okay. You make your way over there. As you step over and through, you can see the you've already passed by the one window on the side of the house in the back, and then as you move closer, you can see the window on the from the front left of the house. As you step and look around the corner, you can see that there is a kind of small door, almost kind of mirroring what you briefly saw when you were hiding, when you were spotted for a bit with the maid at the end of the other hallway on the other side of the house. So these hallways feel almost kind of mirrored to you. And so you can see this small, like, compared to how the rest of the house is built and configured, it looks relatively small, as it's only about wide enough for a single person to fit through at a time. Staircase that leads downwards.
Okay. Is there a door at the bottom?
As you slowly kind of move through and check down, you can see the not dusty but dirty floor in this basement. It is this kind of long hall, and at throughout this hallway there are four kind of thin wood doors along the edges, and then there is one larger door with kind of a prominent lock, like a kind of like a good old-fashioned padlock, the nice little keyhole padlock at the end. So 5 total doors. But the hallway is directly exposed through this. And you can actually see as you come down that there is a mirrored, just as small hallway that kind of pulls together. You assume that you're right underneath where the front door is, below the house. And you can see a second small staircase that spins outwards. And you'd expect that there is a similar opening on the other side of the hall that you might have missed because you were getting seen by someone.
Okay.
So there are 2 small passageways down here.
If it doesn't sound like there's anyone down here, and then specifically in the rooms, I'd like to check the first 4 doors, not the one padlocked.
Okay. You move over to the first door on the left, ease it open, and there is a clean but very humble kind of living quarter. you can see a small chest that is closed, a small wardrobe that is currently closed, and some like neatly folded sheets on a reasonably about twin-sized bed. This looks to be some sort of quarters.
I'd like to check the chest and the wardrobe.
Okay. As you move over to the chest, there does seem to be kind of this simple pressure lock that is on it. If you don't want to stop and mess around with that, you can immediately move over to the wardrobe.
I'll do the wardrobe first, and
The wardrobe is unlocked, and as you open it, the right side seems to have plain, what you'd assume to call civilian clothes on the right side, and the left side you can see kind of identical work clothes, identical to the maids that you've seen upstairs.
okay. I'd like to take a full set of those maids' uniform.
Okay. You're, I believe, a little bit large comparatively at the moment to the person that you're taking these clothes from, but your mind doesn't think anything of it, as you can add to your stash maid uniform.
What kind of maid uniform? Describe it to me.
It's a Victorian maid uniform, you pervert. I'm not French.
Are we talking scullery maid? Or are we talking
I don't know these terms. I don't know these terms.
Are we talking like
You're the
scrubbing
one
the
to
floor?
know
Or are we
these
talking
terms.
raising the kids? Come on, describe it to me.
It is a long dress with two separate layers. This kind of like kind of deep blue to be almost indecipherable from black that has a kind of white undercoating of a general long dress with longer sleeves to it. Over it is kind of that general cloth that would be seen as a little bit thicker, a little bit harder to get dirty, and easier to clean, made for purely function.
I got another weird question. Is there like a set of like pajamas?
In like the more personal side, yes, there would be.
I'm gonna take a set of pajamas too.
Okay.
And then I would like to slowly make my way back. Do I want to go to the kitchen? I don't know if I want to go that far.
Do what you want.
I'm all the way over here, right? If I'm thinking about this right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go up the staircase, the one that I didn't come down.
Okay.
And maybe about halfway up, stop and like see if I can hear anything. But if not, I'd like to continue.
Okay. You can make a perception check. 7. You don't hear anything.
Okay. And then at the top of the stairs, if I'm thinking about this correctly, it connects to a hallway, and then there's the window that I was seeing out of.
Yes, you are incredibly correct.
Okay. Assuming there's no one there,
There is not.
I'd like to open that window, hop out, and then like close it as best I can.
Okay.
From
The window,
outside.
yeah, the window closes. It just doesn't latch. As you begin to kind of climb out of the window, you do hear, as you begin to climb out, this man's voice that was a little bit muffled. As it becomes still muffled but a bit clearer, you can assume that he's coming from the second floor down to the first floor, almost like the wall is what's separating you as they come down. Of just, you couldn't have known that this would be accelerated. It's not a burden for the Lord to bear, and nevertheless we do in fact have to bear it. I will see him tonight, and we'll get all logistics squared away. Would you like to continue stepping out?
If I'm out of sight, yes.
Okay, you are. And you sleep out the window and just slowly close the windows. They just unlatched. You are able to
1 sec.
squeeze away. While we are finishing up that excursion, Aelin, is there anything you have been doing outside? Have you just kept walking as you watched your companion dive into the bush?
I think as I watched dive into the bush, I would, I guess, be a little shocked, and then kind of just continue walking down, maybe past the house that has the knot hedge, I guess, that has that area, and kind of just check around the block, see if there's other, kind of get a lay of the land, I guess. So if we have to try and get out of here quick, I know roughly where streets go a little bit better. And just take that time to kind of glance down side streets and look around a little bit.
Worth noting that the block itself doesn't actually have alleyways in like to the sides of them, but there is a small tributary street that runs behind the house. Doesn't connect to anything. It doesn't have like a gate or anything that leads to that alleyway from the noble's house. But you do see evidence that like trash has been like pulled over the hedge and set there for someone to collect. And as you make a kind of loop around the block, you do realize that there is a small set up outpost of town guard that are probably about only like maybe 1,000 feet away. Like, they're incredibly close. They're not within view of the house, but if something goes down, you could guess that there would be a half dozen town guard showing up very quickly.
Okay, yeah. I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah. Other than that?
This is gonna be a weird question. I guess that outpost specifically, what does that building look like generally?
It is a single-story building. Looks like it has been made almost entirely out of stone with wood accenting rather than wood made with stone trim to like make something out of it. It is built to last and be a little bit more utilitarian than pretty, as most of the buildings in this district especially are of beautiful make. You can see that there is a singular person out in town guard gear that is just standing outside, almost keeping watch over the outpost, or just seemingly ready to go at a moment's notice. And you do just kind of surveying it for a moment, do like kind of see flashes from other people moving in and out. Like, it is a busy place, but only enough that you would expect that even though half a dozen guards could come barreling to the noblewoman's place, that would completely exhaust everyone in this guard post, and it would be empty afterwards.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll continue kind of down the road and around the block. Is there anything else of note that I come across?
Nothing necessarily, no.
Okay.
Just that this is a wealthy part of town with beautiful architecture and larger houses than you've seen. Some of the house that your companion's currently scoping out is of the same size as the inn that you all are staying at. So
Sure. Yeah. Are there any other? I know you kind of mentioned that there's a few other three-story buildings, but are
yes,
there any in very close vicinity?
no,
Or is it
none in close vicinity. This one, each of those, and by a few, I quite literally mean there are three that you have seen. You've seen
okay?
two, and then this one, and each of them kind of stand on their own. This kind of pillar of excess in Alinar Orin. Each of them kind of beautifully crafted. Although at this point, ironically, the one that you guys are set to B&E into is the most active out of the three that you saw.
Mhm.
Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, the people didn't render in the other ones. This is the main spot, so
Yeah,
it
I
kinda
know.
makes sense. Yeah.
I had to
Okay.
get your names all scrolling, so I couldn't render all the NPCs.
All the other NPCs and people, carriages driving away, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, whatnot. Okay. Any other? Is there? Let's see. Um, if I had to estimate from just walking by those third-story windows, how far from the ground would they be? And I'm happy to make a roll for something like that.
How far the ground is?
Yeah, from if I were to hypothetically throw a rope out, if I had to tie it inside and throw a rope out the third-story window,
Mm,
how much rope do I need?
that is easy enough to do. You would need it to be about 35 feet long.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Hypothetically, how much damage would you take? How many d6s would you take? if
It
you
would.
threw from
It
that
could
height?
be anywhere between. Um, it could be anywhere between 4 and 24 damage. You know.
Okay. It could be fine or it could be dead. It makes sense.
You could break your neck, or you could be fine.
I mean, really, you never know.
It's truly realistic. If you jump out of a 3-story building, you could be perfectly fine with a little bit of soreness on your legs, or you could break your neck and die instantly.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I don't know what else really to, I guess, go about looking at here. So I guess I would kind of. Are there like street lanterns around in the vicinity that I can just kind of lean up against and
Yeah.
make myself look as normal as possible?
And as you've finished this kind of walk around the block, you do see kind of step out from the hedges, kind of like dusting themselves off. They have this kind of wrapped bit of black cloth in their hands as they kind of stroll up to you.
Okay.
One thing I want to ask real quick, JC.
Mm-hmm.
That maid who saw me, would it be fair to assume that I got a pretty good look at her?
Oh yeah, you guys had an awkward 5-second stare.
Okay. I'm gonna. Would that be enough for, purposes?
I would say so. I would say it would be enough to have a roll for it, and then if someone intimately knows, they would be rolling against it. Like, if, for instance, the other maid was there, she'd be rolling. It is not a person that you intimately know.
I'm so with that.
But yeah, your shenanigans are set up.
Was it a great success in there? I'm asking.
I have found. Well, I have a maid's uniform here. Suppose that'll. I'm hoping that'll allow me to move a little bit more freely when we come back later.
Okay. Did you happen to find the office? With pure chance.
I didn't explore all of the first floor, but I get a good feeling it's not on the first floor.
Okay.
Um,
What about dining
and
room?
it's not in the basement. I did find the dining room.
Perfect.
I didn't spend too much time looking around in there, though.
Get a glance at the table, though. I assume if you had seen any paperwork, you probably would have.
There's a pretty extravagant table. Did I
Also,
see
also a
any
very clean table
papers?
at this point. There was
Very
no
clean.
clutter on it.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
So we could probably scratch that one out.
Yeah. Very well.
Have to assume that the bedroom or the um, office are probably on the second or third floors.
What do we? I guess we make our way back to the fresh flask then and begin our preparations.
I like that idea.
What time of day is it, JC?
You guys had woken up in the morning, and although you have traveled to the southern district, then back to the northern district, I would say it's becoming around noon at this moment. It's been
How long
about
of
half
a
the day.
walk is it it'd be like an hour, like a 2 hour walk to the northern district then.
Yeah, about. You're traversing a city, and you're doing it a bit slowly.
Mm-hmm. I figured as much. Just making sure.
Mhm.
I can plan correctly when we're doing the big heist. Okay. Um, yeah. On our way back, I will spark up conversation and say, I suppose if we're going to work together, we should probably know each other's names, or at
Uh,
least what to call each other.
that's a fine idea.
I
You can call me
um very well. Uh, that's an interesting name. I am Aelin Sevenholst, and all, kind of. I don't know. I guess nod forward a little bit on our way.
Did you um, find anything while I was inside?
I scouted around in the area a little bit. We have a small roadway out kind of behind the house, but not much to benefit us there. I did notice that there is a guard shack a mere 1,000 feet away, just around the corner, that could become a problem if some type of alarm is raised. There is someone who seems to be constantly patrolling the outside, waiting for something like that to happen on watch. So we will definitely want to either uh, avoid detection at all costs or mitigate that risk by um, distracting them with some type of other emergency elsewhere in the district.
Okay, that's good to know. Um, I did hear something while I was leaving. It sounds like uh, our information was correct. That uh, the guards and um, the uh, patron of the house, whatever, will be out for the night. So it should be just the house staff, I think.
And were you able to confirm what Beck had told us, that it appeared to be a few maids, two potentially, and a butler of some kind, or were they
Um,
off doing work?
I did see one of the maids, and I think I heard the other, and I'm pretty sure I heard the butler, um, but I can't say if there was anyone else in the house or not, other than the two guards um, and the lady.
Very well. Any chance you caught what time they would be out of the house, or what kind of event they're going to that could give us an idea of when they would return?
I did not, though it sounded like it was quite important and um, maybe annoying business to deal with. Um,
I suppose that could mean anything then, that they may try their best to get out as fast as possible. It means we may want to
be quick.
be quick. Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't we finish preparation and maybe be back that way by dusk?
Very well. I think we should make our way back then, and see what our other friend has to contribute. Brief and see if we can develop a plan.
Hope she's been cooking up something good.
I trust she has a few tricks up her sleeve.
All right. So the two of you head back to the Fresh Flask, going to rendezvous with your other companion, who is either not had better things to do or not gotten cold feet for the whatever B&E you all are taking part in. You two are able to go up to the door that you know Ophelia was staying at, and you're able to proceed how you wish.
I definitely don't think this will be the most easy job, but with the three staff that we saw in the house, I think we have a good chance of laying low, especially if we try and get in there towards dusk. We may luck out, and the staff may turn in early for the night, giving us the ability to kind of roam the upper floors.
Something I forgot to mention to you on our way back. I did find a basement with there was 4 doors, and then a 5th one that was locked with a big padlock. I only went into one of those rooms, but it was a living quarters for the staff. And operating under the fair assumption that the other 3 rooms are staff rooms as well, and the 5th one maybe for the butler. But I didn't check those rooms.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that could do us well. I have the ability to get us into an elevated floor, I believe, rather quickly, and that could benefit us at least into the entry. And I'm thinking with my trusty rope, and I'll tap the rope that is on the side of the pack, of the Dungeoneer's pack, because I have that bad boy. I believe this could be our easy escape route back out. We may have difficulty getting our I don't even know what to call Ophelia not by her name, but we may have some complications, but I'm happy to cross that bridge, I believe, when we get there.
They're having this conversation in front of my door, right?
Yes.
I think we're.
Are we inside? I thought we were inside.
The door opens.
No, I'm sorry. I thought we were inside. I wouldn't have the conversation yet.
The door opens.
Oh,
And Ophelia says, "I have a name."
I recognize that.
Do you now?
I do have a name. You just haven't asked.
what would
Here I am.
what we're
asking.
doing in our introductions, because I have metagamed my way up to this point. What would your name be?
And do tell me, what is metagaming?
I'm gonna look directly.
and-
Aylin's gonna look directly at the camera and say, "Wouldn't you like to know?"
Okay.
I'm taking away your inspiration
to
for the end of the game.
You can call me Ophelia, not by the other words you have for my supposed condition. And I don't intend to go through any second or third story windows.
I was just gonna call you short, but Ophelia works fine.
Ophelia, it is. What do you
You can
propose?
call me,
Oh yeah.
Did you forget your own name for a moment?
No, that's it.
What's your name?
Well,
If you're nervous, that's quite all right. Would you like to write it down?
I'm about to throw you out this window.
oh, that is quite enough.
Oh. Someone's lashing out because they've forgotten their own name. Don't worry, we all lose things along the way. I'm sure it'll come back to you with time.
Remind me not to share my loot with you next time.
So what did you find out exactly? More than what I heard from beyond the door?
Well, our mark is a 3-story building in of course the Northern District, in a more higher end part of the already high end district. It's surrounded by smaller houses, which will not make our entry too easy, and it's a very very obviously placed structure. It sounds like, from what did during the reconnaissance, that the lady of the house and her bodyguards will be out for the night, which means tonight may be our best bet at getting the reports that we need to. It appears that Becky was correct, that there is 2 maids and a butler that will likely remain in residence while the lady of the house is out. There is no office or bed or homeowner's bedroom. Primary is what they call them, I suppose. Primary bedroom on the main floor, which means we will likely need to investigate the upper levels to find our reports here. I have a proposed way, at least, of getting us into the building, or at least getting myself back out if that's the case. But we will, of course, need to discuss that further here. We do also need to be aware that there appears to be a guard post in near vicinity of the structure. So we will need to either remain very, very quiet in this endeavor, or I propose perhaps we create a distraction somewhere else in the district that could pull the few guards I saw in this outpost, pull their attention away from our block and possibly give us more time. That is, of course, if we're concerned about raising their suspicions.
We should obviously try not to raise their suspicions. If we don't want to go through the upper floor windows, we could always go in through the bottom floor.
We'll see when we get there. I'll have to take a better look at the building.
You wouldn't happen to have any tricks up that sleeve of yours that could help us in entry or exits, any type of stealth or anything like that?
I've got a few tricks.
Very well. I suppose we'll have to see those when we get there as well, then.
Did you get that sturdy backpack I told you?
I knew there was something I forgot. Perhaps we can grab one on our way up.
It would be recommended. And we should get two, because we're likely going to have to grab other things outside of the documents.
Other things did you have in mind? I don't plan on ransacking the place.
Well, if we go in and steal just a set of documents, they're going to know that it was part of a particular issue, and it's going to draw more attention on us. But if it looks like a run-of-the-mill burglary, and the documents just so happen to slip away, it draws a broader net of attention, so to speak. You got to be smarter about these things.
That
We
is
could also
very
probably
clever.
net ourselves some extra gold by selling what we take.
I wouldn't know exactly how that works, but I do know how to use diversion. So
It appears I have much to learn in this new line of work.
I've got a few tricks.
Shall we be on our way then?
JC,
Mm-hmm.
That's the character, yeah. That's...
first off, are we coming back here after our adventure?
That's up to you guys.
I know I said JC and then paused. I was asking them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Becky told us to meet her at the bar, but that's probably not going to happen until... No, she said meet her at her house. We're going to her house after this.
no, she
We agreed to meet her back at
at
bar.
the Fairy Tavern.
Yeah.
After we're sure we're not being followed. So yeah, we should go there as soon as we're done.
To her house?
No, to the tavern. I'd rather blow up the tavern than blow up where we're actually staying, you know?
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know how it is. Make a couple lefts, make a couple rights before you go home. Never blow up your spot.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. And I may be getting ahead of myself, but we could always celebrate with a dice game when we get there as well.
Unfortunately, you will need the backpack before we go, because you're not going to be dragging me across town to rob a building, I'm assuming.
Oh, that is an oversight on my end.
Do I need
Aren't you full of them?
do we need to pay for another night here, or are we set for?
We're set for the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Clearin paid for you guys pretty well.
I'm going to, in my room, I'm going to empty out my explorer's pack and then set the maid uniform and the maid pajamas inside.
Okay.
And then I have a key for this room, right? So I'm going to lock
Mm-hmm.
the door when I leave.
Sounds good.
Do I need to clarify if I'm taking stuff out of my backpack too, or is that just for plot?
If there is stuff that you want to leave behind, do so. If not,
going
I'm
to bring
assuming
my-
you have it with you. So
Okay, fair enough.
if you get patted down and they had
They're
the
gonna
maid
find-
outfit, they're gonna find the maid outfit.
Well, they just won't find it.
Well, now they will.
Um,
Yeah.
And I'm bringing my knife.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I will also quickly run to my room before going out to get a... Well, I'm going to lose my backpack because I need to carry a sturdy backpack anyway.
There's no actual sturdy backpack item. It really is just flavor text. If you believe the backpack you have is enough to carry her, that's all well and good. And AC
yeah.
wants to rule that you want something sturdier if it allows you an easier time carrying her around. But
Mhm.
that's up to him.
I
What
don't
kind
think you
Yeah.
could carry additional items in the pack if you have Ophelia in there.
Yeah. What can I... Okay, now, just I want to throw out there. The
Mhm.
hempen rope is in the text secured to the side of the pack.
It
Does
is.
that stay?
That could stay.
Okay.
are you willing to dump
Okay.
out everything else?
Yeah, I don't think I'll need the rest of this stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna trust Ophelia to have be the tools that I'm losing here.
Okay.
Ophelia's gonna have to leave a lot of her shit here too.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a quarterstaff. I don't know why. I don't know where the fuck she's keeping it. We're
You're
just
just
gonna.
holding on to the bottom quarter
It
of
gave
it.
me a quarterstaff. I really would have rathered a dagger, but I took the starting equipment, didn't change it. We'll deal with that later. So I'm only going out with the bare essentials because I gotta fit in this backpack.
Yes,
I
you
can't
do.
have my own pack on me.
Uh-huh. All right. As you set, you are able to test out the bag transport method. Your movement is still reduced by half, but your hands are free.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's tough.
I propose something to you.
You
Can I sack my bonus action to attempt to counterbalance my own weight in this bag to kind of mitigate that to a certain extent? Instead of having it give a flat reduction, as long as I maintain my bonus action to being that counterweight?
As long as you give your bonus action to be a counterweight.
Yes. If I do not use that bonus action, the weight is halved the way it should be until the next turn in which I can use that bonus action again to perform that.
I would say it wouldn't be too much, but I'll say if you do that, it will be he's reduced to 20 rather than being reduced to 15.
That's fine. I didn't think it would alleviate it, but I would like to kind of mitigate it to a certain extent.
Okay. That is the deal.
We should write that down somewhere.
Yeah, I got it.
This
I'm
session.
putting my notes.
As long as I dedicate my bonus action to doing that,
To
you should
counterweight.
be okay.
Counterbalance.
To counterweight. It's not a lot, but it's something.
It's 5 feet. 5 feet might be the
Yeah,
difference at this point.
Yeah, you never know.
That 5 feet, it matters. It stacks.
5 feet
Yeah.
matters. All right. Any more preparation that the three of you need to do?
Do we need another bag or backpack or something to fill with items for our?
That's why mine is empty.
Okay, just making sure.
Other
In
than
that
like
case, then
2 sets of clothes. But like, it's empty.
okay. And our plan is the main floor then.
Let me scout the building when we get there. Let me take a look at it.
Very well. Yeah. Without further ado, then I guess we'll start our way back up towards the northern district.
Okay. You all begin striking out towards the northern district. It is in the evening right now, as the sun still has a few hours left in the sky of this day. The heist is ready to be placed in some sort of action. As you begin making your way up the road, you hear off to the southern side of the town a long, low, this horn that stands and hangs in the air for about 3 to 5 seconds before it drops, and then another low note that spreads across the southern end of the city. Unfortunately, I don't think any of you would immediately recognize it of what it is.
Fuck.
But as you turn to see nothing, you don't initially see anything, but what you almost kind of feel or hear It's just the town become a little bit more awake. The town stirs, almost like a colony that has heard something. As you can hear shouts further down to the south, as you guys are on the kind of halfway border where the Fresh Flask is, just barely into the northern district. Something is happening in the south. And hopefully it does not involve you. And that, unfortunately, is where we're going to end session tonight.
I knew we were too.
Is that why you kept trying to say something?
I had a question, but I can ask it next time.
Okay. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and thank you to these 3 people for persevering through half of the team. Some wonderful scoping, some little things in the background, and a heist to happen maybe next session. Thank you everybody so much for watching and tuning into the stream. I hope you all had a wonderful time. If you have not followed the stream yet, please make sure to. We enjoy doing D&D just because we enjoy doing D&D, but we'd love to have you along for the ride with us. With all that said and pushed out of the way, hopefully Jazz and James will be able and ready next week for the next session of D&D Usapait. Have a wonderful night.
You've got something to do before you end us out. You got one thing you got to do. Who gets the good boy point?
The good boy point. So what Helminia is talking about, just to reminding me of, thank you, is I have elected that I'm going to be giving out a bit of extra crispy inspiration to a player, at least one player a session, for some great work and stuff that I loved that they did. This session, ironically, goes to the word that I've probably accidentally said the most. This one, it goes to for a lovely Mission Impossible exploration of the house, and having a bit of a heist before the heist. You all did amazing, and unfortunately, actually now at this point, all 3 of you guys have gotten the inspiration.
Beat the panty raid, man. You can't beat the panty raid.
It's very well, and it's set up for something very fun that I expect to see next session. But that is for another time. Once again, just to finish everything off, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time with us, and I hope I see you next week. Take care, and have a wonderful rest of your night.